I'm going to cover everything regarding the changes that we know to Apex for Season 14, and we got a lot to get into, so let's get going. The first big change is the level cap increase. This appears to go all the way up to level 2000, except it's more going to be like level 500 split up into 4 different tiers. Each tier has its own theme, so there's like an Octane and a Lifeline theme. But basically what you can do is you can prestige. So once you reach a level 500, you can reset to level 1 into the next tier. In this way, you'll be able to get more Apex packs. It's now said that you'll be guaranteed an heirloom according to Dexterto because they increased the total number of packs you can earn from leveling up to 554 Apex packs. Basically, with the addition of the 1500 extra levels, that equates to around 345 Apex packs in total. So congratulations to all the people who've never got an heirloom but just grind the game. If you keep grinding, you will unlock an heirloom. I do wish they would add some skins or something you could grind for beyond just a badge, but it's better than nothing, and it's been a couple years since they increased the level cap, so we'll take it. Next, we've got changes to the gold backpack and the gold knockdown. So first, with gold knockdown, there is no more self-revive animation. Instead, gold knockdown will do what gold backpack used to do: heal your allies at half health and shield when you revive them with it. Now, gold backpack will use something called deep pockets, which allows for stacking more meds. An example would be you can now carry 3 med kits or 3 batteries per slot, or even 2 Phoenix kits per slot. And I think this is a super healthy change for the game all around, as now gold backpack has some utility around carrying more than a purple bag can, but also self revives were kind of killing the late game ranked circles, as players would get free placement just by holding it up in the last circle with 8 enemies fighting around them. It was getting to be pretty rough for a lot of the people who grinded ranked. I mean, there is a solid reason why gold knockdown had been removed from ALGS for the previous 5 seasons or so. I do think this is a subtle buff to Newcastle as well, given that with Newcastle it always kind of felt like you needed the gold knockdown, but you also needed the gold backpack, and now you really just need the gold knockdown. Now, moving on to some interesting weapon changes. The Spitfire will now carry light ammo, and the Wingman will use sniper ammo. Now, the reasoning behind this, from what I've heard, is Respawn wanted to make the sniper role more important on the team. But also it makes sense due to the complaints that made the Wingman end up in the crafter for the second half of the season. Sniper ammo carries in less stacks than heavy ammo or light ammo or energy ammo. So now the Wingman will still be good, but it will require a different breed of ammo, which may make it less annoying to deal with. Now, the Spitfire using light ammo is an interesting move. I don't really know why they did that. More will probably be revealed around that. However, the weapons going into the care package are going to be the Bocek bow and the Rampage, which means the G7 Scout and the Volt are returning to floor loot. I welcome these changes wholeheartedly, as the Volt and the Scout are some of my favorite guns in the game and frankly deserve to be on floor loot. I mean, how many times did someone see a G7 Scout on a care package and just leave it? I mean, it doesn't make sense. If the gun is not getting picked up in the care package, there's an issue with it. I still enjoyed the gun when it was in the care package, but it just felt wrong for that gun to be in there. It's been said that the Bocek is going to go into the care package basically in the state it came out in Season 9. I don't know if any of you guys played back then, but when the bow dropped, it was insanely overpowered. They had to hot fix it within the first week, so you're going to want to look out for the care package bow this season. As far as the Rampage, it will spawn in with a free thermite. They said they tested getting the Rampage off the package and it already being charged up, but they said it wasn't really working out too well, so they'll just give you a free thermite and you can charge it up. Looks like the EVA 8 is getting a buff too. They're saying there's a fire rate increase, that shotgun bolts will increase fire rate even more. Now they're adding stocks to the EVA 8. I'm not sure if it's going on every shotgun or what. And then they're also bringing back the double tap because the G7's back on floor loot too. There is a laser sight being added as a new attachment, and that is for SMGs and pistols. It has a large hip fire reduction, and you can also customize the laser color just like you can with your reticle. The Skull Piercer hop-up is returning. This is compatible on the Wingman, Longbow, and now the 30-30 repeater, which is interesting. Now, they also changed up Kings Canyon pretty significantly. They re-added Skull Town. It's now called Relic. And for anyone who never played Apex when Skull Town was around, it's basically going to take place over where Salvage was, and also where there was just a bunch of unoccupied space because, well, it was just ocean. So now there's going to be a new POI there, which should help with rotations as far as being on that south side of the map, you know, getting from Market to Gauntlet to even Caustic treatment. We'll see how it plays out. It will be interesting as it's been a while since Skulltown was around. And so I'll kind of see how the player base reacts to this. I'm sure it'll be very hot in the first couple weeks of the season. They also altered Cage somewhat, so it's not as annoying to deal with snipers sitting up there. They removed the walls around the top layer of Cage, which is nice. They removed that small hillside POI near containment, or I guess they just altered it. So instead of having a few buildings there, it's just some bins. I would not land there for loot, at least not from what I can see, but you could still rotate through there and potentially find some loot or hit a crafter. They added a couple more buildings back to Relay, but they changed the name of it to Basin, and that is over by Rig. Not sure how much of a difference that will make unless there's an end game circle over there. And then they just modified some of the rotations. You know, they altered some of the caves and the tunnels and some of the choke points throughout Kings Canyon that were fairly aggravating to deal with at times, depending on where the zone was pulling and how many teams you were bumping into during those rotations. It will be interesting to see how Kings Canyon feels. I'm not really too confident that it'll be amazing or anything, but they also buffed the loot, the quantity and the quality. So for anyone who thought Kings Canyon had bad loot this season, it should be up to par with the other maps. And they did acknowledge that in previous seasons, the loot was outdated beyond the new POIs that they added in season 8. Everywhere else just was not up to par. Let's discuss the new legend Vantage. She does seem to be a very interesting and unique legend in the terms of that she's mostly a recon legend, but has essence of mobility aspects to her as well. For her passive ability, Spotter's Lens, she can see enemy legends' armor and tell you what legend you're looking at when you're ADSing. This can be extremely beneficial for newer players who are struggling with identifying what legend they're currently looking at or trying to fight. But also knowing what armor the whole team is on before you even engage with them could be a huge advantage for you and your team. Her tactical ability, Echo Relocation, is where she can throw her bat out and then fly to it. It looks like her weapon cannot be drawn out as she's flying to the bat, but it could still be pretty OP if you're trying to take high ground really quickly. I would kind of compare it to the mechanic on Loba's Q, at least from what it seemed like in the video. And I also heard that Echo cannot be destroyed. I'm not sure how accurate that is at this time because they haven't done the legend teaser quite yet, but they did showcase her abilities in the trailer today. And then her ultimate ability, Sniper's Mark. This is going to be the equivalent of basically how Rampart has an LMG. Vantage is going to have her own sniper as her ultimate. We don't know the damage. We don't know the amount of shots, or at least I don't. You guys can correct me in the comments if that's been released, but I did not see it. But it will tie in her passive, and it will pair well with her ultimate. So all in all, we're going to have to wait and see how this legend actually fares in terms of does she fit into the meta, or does her pick rate drop rapidly after the first week or two. I'm going to guess that she's going to be like a middle tier legend, unless there's some component around her kit that makes her extremely broken, like kind of how Seer was released. I don't think she's going to be anything like Seer in that regard, but I don't see her just like jumping into the meta right away. I could be wrong though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you're interested in 5 tricks to improve your fighting so that you can get ready for season 14, check out this video next. Peace.